Do-de-do. I lost my XP bar with the rainbow on it. Darn it. I don't even know if this thing's recording. I think it is. Let's see what I got in my junk. Hi, everybody. I'm calling to check in case you were concerned about me because that was a terrible day. That day that I loaded that video. I'm not sorry I loaded it. I got me 48 more bones. I went over to the skeleton spawner thing, but not for very long. I just wanted some more bone meal, you know. I'm getting a good collection of junk from the spawner. And some of that, oh, that's the wrong one. That's from fishing. That's all my fishing books. And one enchanted bow that needs repair. Where am I putting my stuff? Oink. It's one of these. This is organics, I'll bet. Yeah, it is. That's all I got a lot of bones. Look, I got 2 stacks of 64 plus I got 48 in my thing, and I got some in my mules, and I've got bones everywhere. And I got some enchanted gold stuff. I repaired that one. Fire protection and unbreaking. That'll be nice if I ever get brave. Respiration, I'm thinking maybe I could see. These are all stuff that I could maybe use down in the water. I don't remember exactly what a turtle shell does. And those are golden boots. Thank you very much. Right. For some reason, I guess I thought those were enchanted. Oh no, I just got boots on everybody now. So no, it looks like a British rock band. So the day I recorded that video, in addition to the other stuff that was going on, some in real life stuff that happened, my neighbor is very isolated and self-protective, and I don't blame her because she's had a hard life, and so have I. She and I haven't spoken for quite some time. She accused me of something absolutely absurd, and I won't go there. You know, I won't even defend myself against that stuff anymore. Been there, done that, bought the t-shirt and burned it, right? So I blocked her, and I offered to help her. She's like me. She doesn't have any transportation, and I had my truck running for a while, and I was fixing to go to town, which is a big deal because it's about 50 miles round trip. And I called her and left a message and left a text. Does she want anything from town? Because she can't get anywhere any better than I can. And she wouldn't answer. And even when I got to town, I left a message one more time. She wouldn't answer. And I finally left a message and I said, look, I don't know that you and I are friends, but I've been a good neighbor to you. And I think I deserve to be. Should I be worried about that? I think I deserve to be treated with a little bit more respect than just, you know, silent treatment. I haven't done anything to you. So would you mind, if you don't want me to talk to you, just say so. So, she claimed I had sicked my dogs on her. My dogs are unsickable. You know, they don't have a malicious bone in their body. Brownie used to like to bite people's tires if he could. But he wasn't mean. So when she accused me of sicking my dogs on her, you know, that's dangerous to my dogs. Somebody might come and shoot them or something. You know, I'm way out here in the country. People shoot dogs out here. So I said, well, I'm not putting up with that. I'm not going for that. So that was the end of hanging out with her. Well, I get this call from somebody I don't know asking me if I'm who I am. I said yes. And they said, your dog is laying dead on the road, and it's her road. I thought, well, that's weird. And, somebody ran over it. So I said, well, my mobility scooter can't handle the sand on her road. Would you mind bringing the dog over here and so I can bury it? So he came over with the dog. And then he said, I just got my driver's license today. And I said, okay, well, now I know who ran over the dog, right? Anyway, so he offered to help me out with a few things because that storm was coming, and I'm worried my animals, you know, out in the snow, and make sure they have water and food and whatnot. And it was heavy work, and it was really cold, and, you know, so I asked him if he would help, and he agreed to help. Told So why am I telling you this story? So anyway, one more time, and I find out there's nobody around here that I can trust to help me with stuff. He did help a little, but, you know. Anyway, so my dog is dead. That's why I'm telling you that story, because my dog is dead. Poor old guy. So Brownie's gone. The other dogs are fine, but Brownie's gone. Looks like I should just leave this, huh? I'm training grass through here. I might as well just let it be. I might... Who knows? A cow might spawn. Now, why do I have a torch and a pumpkin? Because I like wasting things. So, that same day, my dog is dead, and what else? Oh, and down here, I gotta go back over here so you can see this. I don't think I can sprint like this. I'm kind of... I see the grass grew, so I must not be too far away from it, huh? Alright, well, I'll just leave things be for now. I guess for some reason I wanted to grow grass through here. I'll probably keep doing that, but I don't think I'm going to do that right now. Cat's laughing at me. Okay, so over here, I was getting ready to go do something. You know how I always get lost in here? Can't find my way around? Well, I don't know how it happened. But Kissy Face, my mule, she fell down in there, which reminds me. And she couldn't get out, and I couldn't get a lead on her soon enough, and she drowned down there. So that Kissy Face back at the house, that's a new Kissy Face. That's not our regular Kissy Face. That's my backup mule. Whoops. So that happened. So my dog died, my mule died. All in all, it was a pretty crappy day, you know? So now she can't get under there. Nobody can get under there anymore. So what's happened since then? Well, after I put out that video... Oh, I was watching Pickle. I was watching Pixel Riffs. I don't know if you know who he is, but if you don't, you better find out. P-I-X-L, maybe 2 L's, R-I-F-F-S. Pixel Riffs. I saw something moving around on top of that tree over there. Am I making that up? I swear I saw something on top of that tree. I was watching Pixel Riffs because, oh my gosh, you want to know somebody who knows this game well and is a good builder and loves to play and keeps on top of stuff, and he does a Let's Play where he explains stuff while he's doing it. Like, when he makes a redstone contraption, he actually explains how it works and all that stuff. And he's invented a few really good contraptions all by himself. I swear there was something in one of these trees out here. I swear there was something in one of these trees. Did you see it? If you saw it, you let me know. I swear there was something. It's not something on my screen. It's not a piece of dirt or something. So I was watching him, and I was watching Empire Season 2. Because I watched some of the players from Empire Season 1 and Pixel Riffs. That's how I discovered him, by the way. And then I just took a notion I wanted to learn more about Pixel Riffs because he's really good. I mean, he's really good. So I'm watching Season 2, and I didn't know nothing about it. I tried to watch some other people's playthroughs of it, but Season 1 had been kind of interesting because they had this ongoing story, and I was curious how the lore was going to go and how they were going to fit all the Minecrafty stuff into this bunch of silliness they were inventing, and, you know. But Season 2, the people I was watching, it was kind of seeming kind of slow, and I kind of didn't care. But I thought I'd watch Pixel Riffs because I just like his style. Very different than mine, very different than what I usually watch. But I just really like his style. I like him because he's so different, you know? It's like, not something you can expect. Whoops, why did I do that? Got a real logical mind, but he's got a real ridiculous sense of humor. He's a pretty good artist, I mean, as far as building and stuff. He's got great concepts. I don't mean a pretty good artist. He did this angel statue that was just, it was so nice. So I'm watching along, and all of a sudden I realize hermits are in this thing, you know? I'm just watching it in order, binge watching it, you know how you do. And I don't know what episode it was, but finally Xisuma showed up on the Empire server. I still don't quite know why all that happened. I'm sure somebody will tell me. If you know why empires and hermitcraft cross-pollinated like that, I sure like to know because it's really interesting. And now a whole bunch of people that were on empires are on hermitcraft. I'm just real curious about it. Excuse me, like I said, I've been gone 10 years. What do I know? I keep finding dark spots. So Pixel Riffs had innovated this really interesting copper aging redstone machine. And I mean, the circuitry in that. I love how people have to like predict what could go wrong and make fail safes and stuff in their contraptions as they're building them because, well, what if this happens? You know, that kind of thing. Anyway, so he's got this big long flying machine. You put a tape of copper on it. Each copper block goes into a little alcove thing, and detectors make sure, pay attention to the copper as it ages. This copper tape, I guess, sends out a signal as it starts aging. Why am I double-clicking everything? And when it's finally green, the, what did I just call that thing? Flying machine. The flying machine drags all the copper back so you can chop it up and put it wherever you want it. Well, he showed that thing to Xisuma. I keep saying Zuma's name wrong. I've always said Zuma's name wrong. Anyway, he showed that thing to Xisuma. And I love the way Xisuma talked about it. You know, like he really grasped it, and he does this anyway. He gets excited for people when they do a thing that's kind of new or interesting or fresh or especially beautiful or complex and yet made simple, and he really gets genuinely enthusiastic about it. And I remember the times he did that with me and how much it meant to have somebody who knows absolutely everybody involved in this game. I mean, even up to the developers, you know? He knows everybody, and when he tells you you did something well, I mean, it probably matters if your mom tells you you do something well, you know? But when Xisuma says it, he's got a reference, you know? I mean, he told me I'm an excellent builder, and he hangs out with Corrales. He called me an excellent builder. It matters when Xisuma recognizes your work. It matters. So I'm watching that, and they're playing this one song that I used to listen to all the time. I always listen to the Minecraft music when I'm playing on creative. It just, you know, keeps you going kind of thing. What was that? Is that a cat? What are you doing down there, buddy? Is somebody punishing you, making you stand in a corner? Stand there. Go run around and do things. Did you push that cat in the corner? Why? So I remember a few times when that happened and that music came on right in the middle of Pixel and Xisuma having a conversation. I remember the nights that I would come in there at a particular time of night. Don't ask me to remember the hours. I don't. But basically, most of the Americans had gone for the night, and most of the British people hadn't logged in yet. So it was real quiet on the server. Not just British, but European people. Anybody from that side of the Atlantic hadn't logged in yet, so it was pretty quiet. All of Xuma's staff was gone for the day. I mean, there's a few moderators and whatnot, but, you know, all the big shots are gone. Nobody's going to disturb you. There's not going to be tons of kids winding around the server just playing looky-loo, that kind of stuff, so you could actually get stuff done. Met a lot of nice people from faraway places that don't usually get to hang out with other people because of their time zones. People from, like New Zealand, and there was a guy from the Middle East, young man. So anyway, it was nice and quiet. You get a lot of stuff done. Oh, good, that cat's following me. And I remember I was real proud of something I had done. And I remember that music coming on. And me sitting there, I don't know the name of the song. If I ever figure it out, I'll tell you. Me sitting there with tears in my eyes, being so proud of what I had accomplished. And so there's Pixel talking to Xisuma, and Xuma's telling him that he really grasps. He really gets it. He really gets it. And Pixel Riffs is not an emotionally demonstrative person. He's kind of your typical nerd. He knows all about everything. I mean, he's friendly and stuff. He's not real introverted and stuff, but he's always busy doing his own thing, and he's not a big blabbermouth and jibber jabber, and he's not real trolly. Well, he is trolly, but he's real subtle about it and sneaky, so a lot of people don't even notice what he's done, which is one reason I like him. And there's Xisuma going line by line over his work, recognizing what he has done. Now, other people come in and they had admired the work and said, oh, this is a great idea and can I use it? But they hadn't said, oh, I like the way you did the thing with the doodah, and maybe you could make it even more automatic if you did this, and, like colleagues, talking about stuff like colleagues, and really respecting Pixel Riff's work. And that song came on, and I remembered how, I have got to stop spamming these torches. I remember how good it felt when Xisuma walked up to me. He was just wandering around doing stuff. He wasn't coming over to talk to me in particular, but he just noticed something I did and commented on it. I mean, respectfully, as a colleague. And then there was the time he came over. Something just happened with, somebody's invented a contraption with zombies walking along pressure plates. You have villagers inside of a fence. The zombies, or a villager, is bait. And the zombies would form a conga line, go up and down the fence, and there were pressure plates on the fence. And I don't remember exactly somehow or another, it had something to do with farming pumpkins. That if there was a pumpkin ripe, as the zombies were walking back and forth, the pumpkins would pop off and you could put them in a water stream. I think that was even before hoppers, I'm not sure. Anyway, and you could collect them. So I was on the server one day with a bunch of friends, and we were just kind of trying to make one of these zombie conga lines. And here comes Xisuma. I don't know where he was going, what he was doing. And he just walked by and saw us fooling around with his pumpkin farm. And he sussed that we were trying to do something. Well, he plunked down this little thing. I don't think it works anymore, because I tried so hard. I practiced and practiced and practiced trying to memorize how it worked. And I couldn't, because I didn't understand redstone logic, so I wasn't grasping it internally. Like, I didn't know it. Sometimes you can memorize something, but that doesn't mean you know it. It was one of those kind of deals. So I tried and tried. I must have built 50 of those things, trying to practice and remember them. Anyway, there's a detector that would point at the block. Okay, there's the stem, and here's where the pumpkin's going to be. And the detector was pointed at the spot where the pumpkin's going to grow. And when the pumpkin came in, the detector sent a signal somehow kind of way. And the piston would push the pumpkin. I don't remember how it worked. And it was real small. It fit in a little space like this, maybe 2 blocks tall, something like that. It was real tiny. So he didn't know what we were doing, but he thought he'd come over and help, That meant so much to me. I don't know. So I was thinking about Pixel and how happy I was for Pixel to get acknowledgement from one of the OGs of the game. Somebody who really, really grasps redstone and can just plunk down a shulker box and build a doohickey, off the cuff kind of deal. And just to have Xisuma on your server, for crying out loud, but then to have him come and consult with you as a colleague, and then they built a contraption together. I can imagine how Pixel Riffs felt. It's very gratifying to be acknowledged that way. I mean, Xuma's not God or anything. What I'm saying is, he's a representative. He doesn't represent just himself. He's a representative of the game because he's been here forever. It might have been the same thing if Etho had come up and acknowledged or something. I don't know. That wouldn't have been the same for me because my experience of Etho was very different than my experience of Xuma's. But I could imagine how Pixel Riffs felt, and that song was playing, and I started to tear up, remembering. And then I got it. I finally got it. I'm not really stupid. I just sometimes get a little thick. Uh, I got back on YouTube, and got back on Minecraft, and thought I have to do what I used to do. No, what I used to do made me sick because I was trying to do what other people were demanding I do that wasn't something that was good for me to do. You know? Does that make any sense? Excuse me. So the problem isn't that there's nothing wrong with what happened before. I mean, it was very painful, and I lost a lot, and all that stuff is true. I'm very badly hurt, and it destroyed my chances to earn a living. Excuse me, in the game. And it broke my associations and friendships with a lot of really creative and interesting people. And I've always loved being around creative and interesting people my whole life. So that was a shame that I couldn't do that anymore. And, you know, living in rural isolation and being physically disabled, I don't have any opportunities to go out and socialize because I can't walk, I can't drive, I can't pay for anything, you know? So being on the internet was sort of like a great equalizer. And being in this game, I have a big passion for this game because of its potential to transform human lives. So, and to be part of that, oh my gosh, you know, to be part of that, and then to have it all taken away was just, you know, it's like saying, okay, you get to be on the first human-powered flight to the moon, and then the mission gets scuttled. I can imagine how those astronauts felt when that happened. Can you imagine? Oh, how heartbreaking. No, you don't get to land. Was that Apollo 13? I think it was. They flew right over it and couldn't land. There was a couple of missions like that where they flew around, orbited the moon, and then came back home, couldn't. Oh, I know how that felt now. I know how that felt. You're like so close to the most amazing thing in the world, and then, sorry, gotta come home. Oh. So yeah, I get to be in pain, and I get to grieve over that, and I wish I could express it to the people involved. I wish I could. I wish they would listen. I wish they would say they're sorry that it happened. And I didn't have this. But the problem isn't the past. The problem is, well, it's not even a problem. Yeah, the past is a problem. I take it back. There's really painful stuff that happened, and it was traumatizing. It hurt, and it was a nightmare. It was a real nightmare. But I'm approaching it wrong. This is a new chance. I am not saying that I will be able to do anything like I did before. But it's a new chance to do what I can do now. I got a notification on YouTube today, somebody replying to a comment I'd made to a friend of mine's video. Now, I made the comment 9 years ago when that friend and I were playing together. We developed, he and I and another person, we developed a game. It was called Pillagers versus Villagers. And what we did, we would pick a seed where you would spawn in really pretty close to a village. You were not allowed to use crafting tables, so you better find a village with a crafting table. And there were a bunch of other restrictions. It was hardcore mode, and you had however many achievements, and I don't remember if it was a certain number of time or before you died, or I don't remember how it was. But it's called Pillagers of Villages, and he and I and this other guy, we would compete with each other and see who got the best score, got the most achievements, blah, blah, blah. We invented that. So here I get this notification from somebody about one of these guys I played with saying, you think he's going to answer that? Well, my comment was 9 years old, and it was on a Pillagers Villages video saying, gee, that was a lot of fun. And all of a sudden today, this guy says, you think he's going to answer that? Well, it turns out this guy I'd been playing with now has like 1 million viewers. He doesn't play Minecraft anymore. He plays something else. And I wrote back and I said, well, I am one of the developers of the game. So, you know, oh, jeez. So, I mean, good for my friend that he's got 1 million subscribers now, you know? Excellent. I'm glad. And so I was playing hardcore, dude. I was playing without crafting tables. I was doing PvP. I was building maps. Yeah. So that was the other thing, watching Pixel Riffs with this Empires thing. He's building adventure maps on that server for his friends to play. One was a pirate map thing. He built a big giant skull, and you go in, and there's all kinds of little traps and contraptions and skeletons that'll shoot you, and there's treasure maps, and he built it all in survival, no command blocks, nothing cute, just a little simple redstone that even I could understand, and a little bit of parkour, which I can't do parkour, but I grasp the basic concepts and kind of know what the rules are and how many blocks away a person can actually jump, stuff like that. This simple little game for his friend to play on their server. And he worked really hard on it. Pixel Riffs works really hard. And I used to do that kind of stuff. And I guess part of it is my frustration because, like, I still don't have things set up in here. Well, partly because of the storm. It's kind of put a freeze on everything because it's just too cold to go outside. So, taking things out to the trash and I mean, it's just bare survival stuff. Last night it was so cold that I was curled up in here in the bed with my legs tucked up as close to me as I could because it was too cold at the foot of the bed for my legs to stretch out because my feet and toes were getting way too cold and they ached. But not being able to stretch out my legs made my hips hurt, and it was brutal cold last night with a lot of wind. So I didn't do too much in the way of housework yesterday. I was real proud of myself. I got everything done so that, I made a boo-boo. So that I had water and food, and the animals had water and food and shelter, extra shelter. And I brought in all the stuff, and I hauled in a bag of dog food. I was out there for about 10 minutes. I brought in a gallon jug of water. I pushed a 55-pound bag of dog food up the driveway and put it in the yard and opened it up so the dogs and pigs and cats would have extra food. Their pools are full. They had plenty of drinking water. And I brought in for myself just a gallon of water, a can of pork stew, and, one of my smallest solar battery things because it was charged up just to keep all my my tablets and my phone working overnight and keep a light on in here. That's the only time I went outside, and I got so cold that my hands felt like they were burnt. My fingers, and it hurt so bad. It really felt like there was no skin on them. So I stayed in the house, and basically I binged Minecraft. I did a lot of online errands on chores, and my food stamps came in. I did some shopping for groceries that are coming. And I got a really good deal on this soup that I normally wouldn't buy because it's $2 a can. So this company hired this chef, so they put his name on the can. And apparently that deal ran out, whatever their deal was with this chef. So now they've got all this soup with this guy's name on it and his picture on the can. So they marked it down from $2 a can to $1 a can. And each can is over a pound of weight. It's 18 ounces, a pound, 16 ounces. I thought, well, heck, $1 a can? You can't buy just old chicken broth or vegetable broth or something like that for $1 a can. So I bought, they were selling it by the case. There's 12 in a case. And I bought like 6 cases. You know, $12 times 6. I've spent almost all my food stamps on that. So that I can mix it with rice or open up a can of that canned pork they give you at the food pantry, or even tuna and noodles or potatoes. I have instant potatoes and I have some fresh potatoes. Is there a cat running around loose? You want to do something, don't you? Okay. So I know I have guaranteed 12 times 6 or 12 times 7. 12 times 7 times 2. That much food. And I bought some really, really cheap cake mix and some jams and preserves and really nice flavors that were really cheap. because I know that you can take cake mix and mix a little powdered milk, or I've got some of that shelf-stable milk and stuff. Mix a little of that in it, and you can add some, I just bought plain yellow cake mix. Add a little cinnamon and clove, or add a little cocoa powder, or add a little powdered ginger. Yeah, make your own spice cakes and stuff. Because cookies are really expensive, and this cake mix is 75 cents a box, which would make about 3 dozen cookies, which is about 3 packages of cookies. So that's $9 worth of packaged cookies versus about 75 cents for a package of that cake mix, even without eggs in it. I don't have any eggs right now. So I can make, or I can make pancakes with it. Yeah. So I can have cookies and stuff, and so I bought jams and jellies real cheap, so that I can make myself little, like, kind of little fruit pastry kind of things, you know? I don't have any bread at the moment, because getting fresh bread here is a problem. So I don't have any bread, but at least I have those little, I can make myself some little homemade cookies in a frying pan. So I have plenty of soup. I have lots of canned stuff here. I got vegetables and fruit and tuna and little cans of sardines. I like the kind they make with green chili. Oh, those are so good. So, you know, salmon, stuff they give me in food pantries and stuff. Got canned food. And so I used up all my food stamps mostly on soup and cake mix and jam. But that way I can have bright, cheerful things to eat, because I got plenty of coffee. I got plenty of other stuff, you know. I've got a little bit of lamb that I bought last year when I went to a nice grocery store, and it was just as cheap as good quality hamburger, and put it in my freezer and waited until cold weather, so I've got a little bit of lamb to eat. Another friend bought me some groceries, and she's going to bring them over next month, so there's going to be a little bit of beef, and I don't remember what all else. So I'm taken care of. I also, one of the bills that I was trying to defer part of the payment, they messed it up. You talk to these representatives on the phone and they don't listen to you, so they messed it up. So I had to call the credit card company today and say, hey, that my payment hasn't appeared on my bill. Oh, well, you said you didn't want to pay it till next month. I said, no. And so I got that straightened out, but what I wanted to do was pay part of it this month and pay the rest off next month. You know, because I had so many debts. Well, if you do that, it's gonna affect your credit rating. So I said, okay, so how much is it all together? A feather. I got a feather. I think it's a feather. And so they told me it's gonna be $188, and I've got $333 in the bank. I said, you know what? Those poor executives and shareholders in Wall Street, whatever will they do if they can't buy 18 lattes at Starbucks with my Social Security money? So pay the whole thing off. So I had her take 180 whatever dollars out of my bank, and that leaves me 130, 150, I don't know, something like that. I haven't looked it up, but so that's it. I'm not going to hear about it. I'm not going to ruin my credit rating. It's amazing that a person with only $1,000 income has as good a credit rating as I do. I have a terrific credit rating compared to my income, you know, and I always pay my bills early, not just on time, early. I never just pay the minimum. I always pay over the minimum, because you're never going to get ahead and you're just going to keep piling up interest, you know. I try terribly hard to pay things off before the 0% APR promotional thing is over. I work very hard so I have a free credit card for a year. So that's one reason I have such a good credit rating, is I get these 0% APR credit cards and pay them off before whatever the date line is. By the time you have to pay it back by this deadline. And on $1,000 a month, I'd say that's pretty. And I own my own land, and I own my own shed. It's not a house. I have to go to the bathroom in the bucket, and then I have to burn it. I don't have any running water. I can't go anywhere because I don't have a car and I can't walk. And my disability scooters can't handle these dirt roads for very long. But I'm on the internet and I have a new tablet and I can play Minecraft. And some of my old subscribers are still around. And people are watching my videos. And it's not 10 years ago. Sorry, I'm trying not to cry. It's not 10 years ago. And all those people who tortured me back then, they're all gone. They don't exist anymore. They don't have websites. They don't have YouTube channels. They're not on Facebook. They're not on Twitter. I refuse to call it X. They're nowhere. They're gone. And I'm still here. I'm going to outlive all them punks. So it's time to make new memories. The game has changed a lot. I'm a little nervous about it, but that's okay. The game always changes. Today I found out now there's fuzzy pigs. Yeah, there's fuzzy pigs. So, I'm alive and I'm awake. Stick around. Oh, there's going to be stuff. I'm going to be making stuff. I got a little $15 portable sewing machine that can operate off of either direct electricity or batteries. It ain't much, but it'll sew stuff. And I am going to be making, I'm using this texture pack, but I'm going to be making bundles with little treasures in them. Minecraft related. They won't be Minecraft stuff. I don't want to get into a big kerfuffle about copyright claims. I wouldn't do that anyway. I wouldn't rip off somebody else's brand. But they're going to be little treasures. Minecraft related treasures. And they're not going to be available on Etsy or Bitsy or Hootsy or Whatsy. They're going to be just, I'll tell you when I made some, and if you want to buy them, you buy them. You know what I mean? Just, you're going to have to trust me, because I won't sell anything I haven't posted a picture of. They'll have, like, little, pickaxes, and, I bought some amethyst. Yeah. And some little square beads that, if you thread them together, they will, they look like Minecraft blocks, you know? You'll see when I get some started. Let me start sewing a few, and they'll come in those little, bundles, because I can lay them flat and put them between two pieces of cardboard and put them in an envelope and mail them to you without hardly any expense. My neighbor Nancy can take them to the post office for me when she runs errands. And they won't cost you much, but it'll be a little memento of Minecraft and of me, and it'll help out with paying for soup. I'm not going to try to sell you some tacky t-shirt made by Chinese slaves that the logo's going to wash off, and some ugly little coffee mug that they want you to pay $25 for and it isn't worth $5. I'm not going to try to sell you any kind of coin made out of cheap pot metal that it costs 2 cents to manufacture, and they're trying to sell it to you for $30. I'm not going to do anything like that. I'm not going to do anything like that. But if you would like to help, if you would like something pretty that was handmade by Granny Gamer 1, just let me know, because I mean, I'm not going to ask little kids to pay my bills and try to shame them into thinking that if they don't do whatever it is that I'm trying to sell them, then they're not cool, or, you know, I'm not going to do any of that stuff. If I get money from you, it's going to be because I gave you something that was worth money. That I made. I've got to do something about that black spot, because you know creepers are going to get up in there I gotta find that black spot is what I gotta do. I keep seeing it, and I keep trying to go over there, and I keep not quite, by the time I get over there, I can't see it anymore. Okay, so it's this column of stone, past that tree, column of stone, and then it looks like granite and dirt. And then to the right of that, there's a shelf of what looks like diorite, maybe? Yeah, I gotta get up there. Figure out what that is. I don't need no mess when I turn the mobs on. So I am feeling better because instead of grieving the memories, which I still do, I grieve the friendships. I was hanging around some real cute people. You know, I even had a conversation with Mumbo Jumbo. Yeah, he showed up at Xisuma's server one day. He was so scared. It was the second season of Hermitcraft. He was brand new. Now, I don't remember how I found out about Mumbo, but I did. And here's what I told him. He was in TeamSpeak chat. And I told him, you know, I have brain injuries, and I cannot do redstone. I can't. I can't track it, and then I feel scared and panicky, and I lose my place, and I just cannot do redstone. So you'd think I wouldn't watch your videos. Because, I mean, you're making these big things, and I don't know what you're talking about. But here's why I watch them. You seem genuinely excited about and interested in this game and what it can do and what it challenges you to do and the potential and all the puzzle solving to make things work. I got it right in that little hole, right where I wanted it. Ha! And you really seem enthusiastic about it, and you just get so happy. And that's why I watch your stuff, because either you're a really good actor and you're conning everybody, or you're really having a good time. And if there's one thing you should do in Minecraft, it's have a good time. I need to tell myself that again. If there's one thing I need to be doing in Minecraft, it's having a good time. Dang it. So I told him that, and he was all gushing and stuff, and I'm like, boy, don't gush at me. Excuse me, he knows what I'm telling him is true. Hey, there's a carpet down there. But he got on his channel the next time he put out a video, and he shouted me out. I met this really nice lady. Granny gave her one, and you should go check out her channel. Mumbo Jumbo shouted me out. And all I told him was the dang truth about himself. That's who I was hanging around with, kids. Those people. Those people. He didn't even have 100,000 subscribers back then. I know the winners. I can always pick the winners. Xisuma, Zombie Cleo, Fault Symmetry, Mumbo Jumbo, Z-Sto. I bet you don't even know who that is. Anyway, I picked the winner. Paul Soares Jr. Yeah. Because I know who's really trying to do this game, and I know who's really trying to make sure that people are learning the game in a good way. Learning to think for themselves. So, I got to remember who I am. I'm that one kid I was playing that game we invented, that Villages. He's got 1 million subscribers now. I know how to pick them. Okay. Phew. You are alive. Wake up. I'd hug you, but my arms don't bend. Goodbye.